is VOA News. Reporting by remote, I'm Joe Ramsey. Russia has opened a criminal investigation after gunmen shot dead 11 people at a military training ground near the Ukrainian border, authorities said on Sunday, as fighting raged in eastern and southern Ukraine. Russia's RIA news agency, citing the defense ministry, said 2 gunmen had opened fire during a firearms training exercise on Saturday, targeting a group who had volunteered to fight in Ukraine. The so-called terrorists themselves were shot dead, it said. The incident is the latest blow to President Vladimir Putin's so-called special military operation in Ukraine, and comes a week after a blast damaged a bridge linking mainland Russia to Crimea, the peninsula annexed from Ukraine in 2014. Russia's defense ministry said the attackers were from a former Soviet republic without elaborating. Some Russian independent media outlets reported that the number of casualties was higher than the official figures. Putin said on Friday Russia should be finished calling up reservists in 2 weeks, promising an end to a divisive mobilization that has seen hundreds of thousands of men summoned to fight in Ukraine and many fleeing the country. In the last 24 hours to Sunday morning, Russian forces targeted more than 30 towns and villages across Ukraine, launching 5 missiles and 22 airstrikes and 60 rocket attacks, the General Staff of Ukraine's armed forces said on Sunday. In response, Ukraine's air forces carried out 32 strikes, hitting 24 Russian targets. This is VOA News. The U.S. and Canada have sent armored vehicles and other supplies to Haiti to help police fight a powerful gang amid a pending request from the Haitian government for the immediate deployment of foreign troops. More from VOA's Tommy McNeil.
A U.S. State Department statement said the equipment was bought by Haiti's government, but it did not provide further details on the supplies flown on military aircraft to the capital of Port-au-Prince. The equipment arrived more than a month after one of Haiti's most powerful gangs surrounded a fuel terminal and demanded the resignation of Prime Minister Ariel Henry. Demonstrators also have blocked roads in major cities to protest a sharp rise in fuel prices after Henry announced in early September that his administration could no longer afford to subsidize fuel. Since then, gas stations have closed, hospitals have cut back on services, and banks and grocery stores open on a limited basis as fuel, water, and other supplies dwindle across Haiti. Tommy McNeil, VOA News, Washington.
Britain's new finance minister, Jeremy Hunt, said he would show investors he will repair the country's public finances after the original economic plans of Prime Minister Liz Truss triggered a bond market rout. Hunt told the BBC in an interview broadcast on Sunday no government could control the markets and no chancellor should seek to do that.
Well, there is one thing we can do, and that's what I'm going to do, which is to show the markets, the world, indeed people watching at home, that we can properly account for every penny of our tax and spending plans.
Investors have sold British government bonds heavily since September 23rd, when Hunt's predecessor as finance minister, Kwasi Kwarteng, announced a string of unfunded tax cuts. Truss, who won the leadership of the Conservative Party barely a month ago after promising to slash taxes, fired Kwarteng on Friday and has ditched parts of the program they agreed on together. Recapping our top story, Russia has opened a criminal investigation after gunmen shot dead 11 people at a military training ground near the Ukrainian border, authorities said on Sunday, as fighting raged in eastern and southern Ukraine. Russia's RIA news agency, citing the defense ministry, said 2 gunmen had opened fire during a firearms training exercise on Saturday, targeting a group who had volunteered to fight in Ukraine. The so-called terrorists themselves were shot dead, it said. Find more at voanews.com. Reporting by remote, I'm Joe Ramsey, VOA News.